Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking about the game between Svendborg Rabbits and Holbæk-Stenhus on the 16th of January 2026, where Holbæk-Stenhus only scored 42 points. Before we begin, I want to clarify that my criticism is only for educational purposes, and I'm not trying to talk negatively about any individual on the team. I'm just using clips as examples. A couple of days ago, when I needed to figure out which game I wanted to analyze, I was scrolling down the basketliga website and looking for significant stat lines, and then I stumbled upon this stat line right here that quickly caught my eye. Seeing a team in a professional league only scoring 42 points is pretty significant, and I got very interested into why they only scored so few points. The first thing I did when I saw the stat line and wanted to analyze the game and understand why they only scored 42 points was to check the summary and some of the stats. First of all, they only had 5 assists, which indicates that the offense wasn't very free-flowing and that the points they got had to be forced through isolation, for example. Another important stat is the field goal percentage. They only had a field goal percentage of 20.3%, which means they only scored 1/5 of their shot attempts. Another important stat is the second chance points. One of the other focus points I have in this video is offensive rebounding and how Holbæk-Stenhus let the Svenborg Rabbits get a lot of offensive rebounds. This can obviously be seen in the second chance points. And finally, I have chosen to point out the 3-point percentage, where Holbæk-Stenhus were shooting at 9.7%, which is really low. When we're talking about a low field goal percentage and a low 3-point percentage, it's important to understand if it's because of very good defense or if it's because they had a bad shooting game and just missed a lot of open shots. Even though I think it's a combination, it is also because they missed a lot of open shots. So currently they are in a fast break, a 5-on-4 fast break. So they have the advantage. It's a great drive, great extra pass, and he misses the 3 in the corner. Another example right here, again, in transition drives, kicks it out. He is completely wide open, so he's gonna get it, and he's also unfortunately gonna miss the shot. It's not only open shots that were missing, it was also layups. So here we have an amazing drive again, great pass. I mean, you could discuss if he's open or not, but the defenders are walling up, not trying to block the shot because the big has inside position. So right here he's beside the basket and it should be a make. Another reason why they had such a low scoring game were also because of sloppy turnovers. Here in transition, he's gonna throw the pass ahead, but it's not ahead, it's more like it's above. Because how are you ever gonna catch this sprinting full speed down the court? Just a bad pass. Right here they're inbounding the ball from the sideline. The big will set a back screen and then try and jump out towards the high post to get an entry pass. When the ball is being passed, the big doesn't have position to catch the ball because his defender is between him and the passer, so this is not a good time to pass it, and it ends up in a turnover. Having a bad game is one thing, but having a bad attitude is a completely different thing, and much worse in my opinion. Here he's dribbling the ball down the court. He is going pretty slowly and he has his back completely turned to his defender who's trailing, and he has the ball in his pocket, so he's kind of showing the ball to him. So it's going to be back tapped and it results in a turnover for an easy dunk. Yeah, you made a turnover, that's fine, we can live with that, but you're walking down the court with your teammate, both of you looking like you've given up already. Even though you're down by 30, you still have 50 minutes left of the game, so you have to keep going and keep giving your best intensity and effort. This is just bad attitude, and as a coach you don't want to see this on the court. This clip is not to show a sloppy turnover, but it's a common mistake a lot of players make. It's doing a negative step backwards towards the sideline when you're in the corner. When you're in the corner, you don't have the space to do it, so you either have to do it sideways or you just have to do like a rip through instead of a negative step. As I hinted to before, one of their biggest problems were second chance points and boxing out. On this position is going to be a great drive, a great negative step as I talked about. And when the layup is released, we now have 3 players right underneath the basket. They're all ball watching instead of boxing out. So the big is easily just going to go through and catch the ball. Another example here, great ball movement by Svendborg. We have the point guard from Holbæk-Stenhus. He's also just ball watching, and this, you can't call this a box out. He hasn't dropped down in his hips. He's not actively trying to move the big. He's just kind of standing beside him and watching where the rebound will go. So understandably, the big is going to catch it, do a great move and a great finish. Even though a lot of the not scoring is because of Holbæk-Stenhus' offense, we also have to give props to the Svenborg Rabbits defense. One of the biggest strengths are their defensive rotations. So let's take a look at in this clip. First of all, they do a great job of hedging, completely destroying any advantage. And the big is good at recovering to his man so the roll isn't open. This leads to nothing, so they're gonna get into the same action once again. And again, it's a great hedge and a great recovery. And right here, we have an open guy on the wing, and we have a mismatch in the post. So they obviously need to get into some rotations to take away the advantages. While the pass is in the air, all 3 of these players actively involved in the play start rotating at the same time. The guy at the top is gonna go back to his former man. The guy who has a mismatch with the big, he's gonna rotate towards the wing, and the big is gonna recover back to his man. One of Svenborg Rabbits' biggest strengths on defense are their full court pressure and their effort. Right here we got Adam Andersen, one of my favorite players in the league, guarding full court. First of all, he's in a very athletic stance. He's dropped his hips back and his shoulders are leaning forward. And also, because he knows that the ball handler is all the way towards the sideline and he has his ball in his right hand, he now has to switch directions or else he's gonna go out of bounds. Adam is gonna position his hand down where the ball might go to try and get the steal. He's gonna get a tip on the ball, and then he doesn't stop. He doesn't just let him get the ball. He's gonna apply even more pressure. He's gonna close the space. He's gonna take away his space, and he's gonna slide with him, keep his arms out to the side to avoid making any fouls. And this is just a great defensive position, and it's almost a turnover again. In this clip, it's just a baseline out of bounds play in their own court, so they just want to bring the ball up the court. Right here, the point guard is going to try and flash toward the ball. He is kind of being grabbed, so this could be called a foul. So he's not in a position to get the pass, therefore it's going to be a balloon pass to a turnover instead. And the next possession, they're coming down the court, great hands, and you just see how the defense is just swarming, very energetic, and they just keep on going. Very good effort here, and it's a layup. So I think this clip is a perfect example of their defense. They just keep bringing the pressure. They don't give up. On loose balls, they go for it. On rotations, they close out hard, and they just keep on annoying the offense with active hands too. That's great. that was all the clips I had in this video. I just thought it would be fun to kind of figure out why a team would only score 42 points. And I believe, as I've told you guys throughout the video, that it was a combination of missing open shots, bad passes, bad attitude, also giving up way too many offensive rebounds, and then also because of Svenborg Rabbits' great defense. So a combination of a lot of things made them only score 42 points. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, please tell me if you have any game or player or anything, any league you want me to analyze. Yeah, thank you for watching.